Hello there, my beautiful friend. Thanks for joining me today. This is going to be a nice, beautiful power balancing flow. If you want to grab yourself a block, it could be super helpful. And you may be wondering, what exactly does Stephanie mean by cancel and bless? So, all of us have these moments in our lives where we're about to lose it, right? Whether that's someone pulling out in front of us in traffic, your son or daughter, pushing the buttons that they know exactly how to push, whatever it may be, we have this frame of time in which we respond. And how we respond means everything. It's one of the only things that we have the power to control. So here, I'm challenging you, instead of using the negative words or the irrational thoughts to allow you to respond, I challenge you to bless that person. Send them a blessing. So we're going to cancel the negative thought and we're going to put a blessing in that place. So you know that I'm a big believer in ripples. If we can express this and we can show the world how to respond in a loving fashion, surely the world around us will be a better place. We're going to start this practice in wide-legged child's pose, and we're going to bring our hands into our namaste shark fins. So they're going to come like this, and then you're going to try to get your thumbs near your neck. Just a general direction. Starting off with a beautiful shoulder stretch. So taking the knees to the outside edges of the mat. Toes come towards each other. They don't have to touch. Send the hips back, and then we're going to slowly walk the hands forward. And then if you want to take the shoulder stretch, we're going to bring the hands up to our namaste, and then maybe bring the thumbs towards the neck. Just drop it in right here and giving yourself just a few minutes to ground. Maybe setting an intention here. What brought you to the mat today? Maybe what made you pick this flow. And just finding that positive focus point here and leaning into it. We're going to take 3 rounds of breath here together. Beautiful. Slowly release the hands. We're going to peel up and come in through a cobra, so these knees will come together. And then we'll slowly allow the hips to come towards the earth. Slowly meeting the earth, bending the elbows, gazes forward. Maybe the belly meets the mat. And exhale, we release. Let's do it again. Push up into our cobra here. Squeezing our glutes and our thighs. Let's tuck the toes here. Send the hips up and back. We're coming in for plank. Really gripping through the mat with the fingers. Uddiyana Bandha, so our core is locked here. And let's do some wrist warm-ups. If you want to come down to the knees, be my guest. Otherwise, we're just going to rock forwards and backwards. We're breathing. We're not holding or clenching the breath here. Beautiful. Let's take the fingers, point them towards the outside edges of the mat. Take a little rock, left to right. Still gripping through the mat, pushing hard through the shoulders. If you want to drop the knees, be my guest. Beautiful. Let's go ahead and send the hips up and back, down dog. Pedaling the feet here, dropping that right heel, lifting the left, dropping the left and lifting the right. Pushing hard through both the shoulders. No holding or clenching there. And when it feels good, we're going to hop, step, jump, or walk to the top of the mat. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, we'll fold. Inhale, we'll peel up to standing. Oh yeah, roll the shoulder blades down the back body. Peeling up here. Big smiles are present and on our faces. Inhale, down to come up. Slice through the sky. Half lift. Plant the hands, step back, plank. Lower down the knees and then the chest and the chin. We're going to take a little pause here. Feel into that low back. Untuck the toes. Come through, cobra. Exhale, down dog. Let's take a nice round of breath here. And we're going to hop, step, jump to the top of the mat. Inhale, half lift, lengthen that spine. Pull the shoulders away from the ears. Exhale, fold. Inhale, we'll peel them all the way up. Arms up and overhead. And exhale them, heart center. Sit back chair. Big smiles on our faces. Shift the weight over into the right foot. Pick up that left leg and send it back. Arms down to come up, high lunge. Big smiles. Big deep breaths here. And exhale, we'll frame this foot. Step back plank. Beautiful. We're going to chaturanga or knees, chest, chin. So push forward, lower down. Push up, up dog. Everybody meets down dog. Beautiful. Go ahead and come up to those tiptoes. We're all going to hop to the front of the mat. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, peeling all the way up to standing. Arms go up. Exhale them down. Heart center. Sit back, chair. Shift the weight to the left. Pick that right foot up. Big step back, high lunge. Send those arms up and overhead. Big smile and big breath. What are your thoughts here towards self? Exhale, we frame the foot, we step it back, plank. We're going to lower down the knees, chest, chin, or do chaturanga, up dog, and everybody meets downward facing dog. Yes. Let's take a round of breath here. Inhale, right leg sweeps up, 3-leg dog. Go ahead and take 5 pulses here. Getting into those hamstrings, rolling it forward. Stepping the right foot in between the hands. When it feels good, we'll rise up, high lunge. Big smiles on faces. We're coming up, warrior 3. So we're going to push off of this back left foot to come up. If you want to bring your hands at heart center, be my guest. And if you want to open those arms into our airplane, let's have some fun. Now, if you have that block and you like to use the block for half moon, we're going to grab it and put it in front of this right foot. And let's go and open up the hips. Half moon here. And if you want to take the gaze up towards that left hand, you be my guest. Breathing. We are not holding nor clenching this breath. If you want to take this left hand to reach around for that left ankle, let's have a little play time there. Kicking through that foot. If you fall, it's okay. We just come back into the pose and try again. Releasing that foot, coming back into our half moon here. We are going to take a big step back with this left foot and come into Skandasana. Okay, so don't lose your block there. Hands can be at heart center or they can be in front of you. Whatever feels better for you. We are going to sit back here, spin this right leg around, arms up, big bend in the knees. Exhale, hinging at the hips. Coming into our seated forward fold. Maybe giving your feet a nice little massage here. Might feel really nice. Beautiful. Now we're going to bring this right foot back around, lift up through our Skandasana. Okay. Now this right hand's going to come back and we're going to push up. And you might have to walk that foot forward into like a fallen star here. And we're breathing, pushing the hips up, not losing control of our breath. And we're going to sit the hips back down. We're going to swing this right leg around again, coming in for boat. Okay, if you want to grab peace fingers around big thumbs, peace fingers around big toes. I hope y'all knew what I was saying there. We're not going to take ourselves so seriously, though. We're just going to continue to be happy with where we are today. And we're in like a supported boat pose. And I love these because this always allows the body to understand what it is we're going for. Active poses are great, but I think passive poses are just as important in our practice. One more breath. We're going to release these feet and we're going to vinyasa. So we're planting the hands and the feet are back, plank. Take the gaze forward. If you want to take knees, chest, chin, be my guest. Otherwise, we're going to push forward, chaturanga. Lower down, push up, up, dog. Everybody meets, down dog. Or you can do child's pose. We'll do 3 breaths here. Beautiful. We're going to inhale this left leg up, 3-leg dog. Let's take those 5 pulses here. Getting that hamstring on the right side. And we're going to roll it forward and step it in between the hands. When it feels good, we're going to rise up, high lunge, arms go up and overhead. Big smiles on the face. And you can bring the hands to heart center. We're going to jump forward into our warrior 3. If you want to take those airplane arms, be my guest. Chest is radiant here. Square. We got the hips squared. And we're opening up into our half moon. So if you use the block, go ahead and grab it. If you want to take the gaze towards that right hand, be my guest. If it feels good, you can reach around for that ankle for this right hand and a little kicking action. Beautiful stretch. Finding your gazing point, your drishti, and hanging on to it. Release through that foot, coming back, warrior or half moon. We're going to take that big step back. Coming in for Skandasana over here on the left side. Hands at heart center or in front of you. Whatever feels best for you. And we're going to go ahead and send the hips back and swing this right leg around. Inhale, arms up. Bend in the knees, hinging from the hips, coming in, forward fold. Maybe coming back to that little foot massage. Maybe offering up a little bit of forgiveness for self. I think that a lot of times we focus on forgiving others, right? And we forget that we are part of the equation. We are just as important as everyone else. And we should really make ourselves more of a priority, right? Peel up. We're going to take this left foot back. And remember, we're coming into like this half fallen star, half wild thing. So left hand plants, right hand sweeps up and over. And if you want, you can take that foot out a little further. Breathing, chest and hips are lifted. Beautiful. And we're coming back around, coming through for our boat pose here. And again, if you did the peace fingers around the big toes, let's try it again. Just playing with the boat. Just maybe challenging yourself just a little bit. Big breaths. Nice thoughts to self. Slowly we'll release. Let's take one last vinyasa. So bring the hands forward, step the feet back. Gaze is forward. Push forward. Lower down. Push up, up, dog. Everybody meets me. Down, dog. Beautiful. Roll forward. Coming onto the knees. Mermaid those legs to the left and sit back. We're going to do figure 4. So left foot plants, and then this right ankle is going to come right under the left knee. Active right foot. And then we're going to walk the feet and the hands as close as feels good for our body. So we're going to have to listen to our bodies here, finding what they like, how far we can go. But we continue to lift the chest up towards that right leg. And we continue to breathe and have smiles on our faces. One more round of breath. And we're going to allow these legs to drop over towards the left side. And then we're going to spin towards the right. Just a little bit of a stretch, not huge. And come back up. And we're going to release the right foot down. And now we're going to do the other side. So left ankle comes under this right knee. Same thing, active foot. We want this left foot very active. And now we can pull it all in if that feels good for us. Just keeping that leg active. Chest lifted. And of course, we have big, big smiles on our faces. We'll take one more round of breath here. And drop the foot over towards the right. Gaze goes towards the left. Just a little bit of a stretch here. And slowly we come back. Release the legs. I'll go ahead and just take a little windshield wiper action with these legs. Beautiful. If you want to rock and roll, we're going to do some core work. So let's rock and roll. Getting on our backs, giving the back a nice little massage. And then we'll land there, legs up. We're just going to do 10 rounds of Stephanie's favorite. Interlace the hands, Kali Mudra, Charlie's Angel, overhead, and left leg drops. Up, down, up. Switch, that's 1. Up, down, up. Switch, 2. Up, down, up. Switch, that's 3. Up, down, up. 4. Up, down, up. 5. Up, down, up. 6, up, down, up, 7, up, down, up. You got this. 2 more. Up, down, up. That's 9. 1 more. Up, down, up. Beautiful. Hug those knees in. Biggest hug you've given yourself all week long. I'm going to rock and roll up to a seated position. Beautiful. If you want to take your block underneath your sits bones, be my guest. Beautiful. We're just going to end with a few rounds of our alternate nostril breathing. So the way we do this is our thumb, our peace fingers, and our ring finger. I'm going to guide you through it. And so here we go. Just take a nice cleansing inhale. And exhale. Right closes. Inhale. Left closes. We hold it. We release the right. And we exhale. Inhale through the right. Hold and switch. Inhale. Hold and switch. Exhale. Hold and switch. Hold and switch. Hold and switch. Hold and switch. We're going to release and sit with it for just a moment. On your next inhale, take those arms up and overhead and exhale them down through heart center. Thank you for sharing in this time and space with me. And let's challenge ourselves to cancel out negative and to bless with positive. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me today. Remember, forgive, honor, and move on. The more that we can practice these things on the mat, the easier it is to practice them off the mat. I hope you enjoyed this. Please do like, comment, and share this. I really appreciate your support here, and I look forward to seeing you back on the mat tomorrow.